YouTube, how we doing? Pass the prop back here yet again. We got MLB ready to come at you guys today. Joined as always by my guy Stu. How you doing, man?
I can't complain, man. It's been a good week, obviously. We're coming off a pretty good show here as well. That never hurts the mood. We got a nice little UFC card coming up at like 3 in the morning. So I don't know if any other D-gens will be waking up for that. I think I'm gonna try for like 5 a.m. because main card is like 6 a.m. I think I'm gonna set the alarm early, but we'll see if I actually have the dedication to follow through with that. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. A good MLB slate today. My boy Brian Robinson just got traded a couple minutes ago. That was interesting. Just a lot of stuff going on. It's a good day to be a sports fan, you know?
Yeah, I saw that with Brian Robinson. Obviously, kind of expected that, right? So, with all the news about him, so yeah, kind of gets you right into football season.
Yeah, I feel bad if anyone did draft Brian Robinson at his like price point as well, because obviously his only path to scoring fantasy points is CMC getting injured. You know what I mean? Like they're not split in that backfield. You know what I mean? Like maybe Brian Robinson gets 3-4 carries a game, something like that, just to keep CMC fresh. But yeah, I mean he's not gonna. I mean, he'd have to take an injury, And then even if he does get injured, Guerendo is still there, and Guerendo's the pass catcher. And Brian Robinson, he can catch 2 passes, but he's not like a pass catcher. So I don't know. I really see no reason why you take Brian Robinson outside of like a depth piece, And yeah, now the whole Washington teams. I know you and me are both Austin Eckler fans as well, from betting on him last year and stuff like that. I think that's going to be the move again this year. Just pencil me in for receptions over as much as possible because they're going to be checking it down to him. Obviously, they got the rookie JCM now, who's going to be stepping into the starting role likely. Maybe not immediately. Maybe Chris Rodriguez could get the week 1 start, but I think as the season goes, it's kind of likely. My big piece of warning before we move on from all this stuff, it's the kind of big news, so I want to touch on it. JCM was a great draft pick a week ago. I really don't think he's a good draft pick anymore because they've already said Rodriguez is the goal line guy. Dan Quinn said it when they asked him about replacing Brian Robinson's usage and how that would work. Maybe this gets taken over by the end of the year, but that's priced in at this point. So you got a guy that's likely not going to be the goal line back. You also have Jaden Daniels, who's going to steal about 25% of your team's rushing touchdowns because he's mobile and he's fantastic at doing that. And then he doesn't catch passes because Austin Eckler's there, who's one of the best guys at that in the league. So you got a guy that's going to be running like first and second downs from like the 20 to 20. I don't know how valuable of a role that is, even if Washington is awesome. You know what I mean? So he has upside. He could definitely take over and look dominant, but this is a 7th round rookie that didn't play last year. Like, I don't know. I like the guy. I'm hoping he's awesome, but just wanted to give my little warning out there for the people that are now going to be sprinting to draft him super high. Like, I think there's plenty of reasons to be a little bit cautious, which weren't there a week ago when you had all the upside in the world, but now he's being priced like the guy. You know what I mean? Or he will be as the week goes. So I've got my, most important draft on Saturday. I'm very curious where he goes in that one because it's DC guys as well, So it's kind of that. You know how that goes. It bumps all those guys up a couple rounds as well. So very interested to see that. And yeah, by the way, if you've already drafted, check if he's on your waiver wire. He's only picked up in like 29% of Yahoo leagues. You could be getting an RB1 for free on the waiver wire. So I would go do that if you've already drafted at this point.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I think I have him in 1 that I drafted already. So I already got pretty good best ball stuff. I don't have any of my year-long stuff for a little while yet. So, yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I got I think 2 shares out of my 6 best ball drafts with him in it. So, but yeah, I won't be drafting him anymore. I'm sure his ADP is just flying through the roof, which is unfortunate. But that's why you draft early, man. That's why you draft early, and you get chances at that. And your lineup's gonna be crazy, or else, I mean, somebody's probably drafted Brian Robinson or probably hating it, So
yep.
It is what it is. So let's take a quick peek. We got 50 of you guys in here across Twitter and YouTube. We appreciate you. Let's get a quick recap here, and then we'll get to Thomas's question there. So,
Yeah, I had Langeliers over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Took a little bit of a an extra inning homer to get the job done. Obviously, had runners in scoring position for 2 at bats before that, but couldn't score any of them. But yeah, finally got the job done a little bit later in the game in very stylish fashion as well. So that was great. Very happy to catch that one.
Yeah, extra innings there, so obviously happy to see those. This one was pretty sweat free. Piante ended up with like 7 or 8. Schleitler, I don't even know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Cam because he did cash. I think he had 7 or 8 Ks. He looked awesome. Yeah, smashed those and could have laddered him up as well. Could have laddered the hits a lot too. So those are always fun ones when you don't have to really sweat too much and you get to just get a nice easy winner.
100%. Yeah, I really like this combo when you were saying it. And like you said, it kind of went as planned. So that's always nice to see.
Yes, sir. Let's we'll pop right into it. Looks like Professor T's in here right away. Ready to go. Hello, guys. Back to Cavalli last time. That's first 5 cashing out. Fading now. Phillies bats are awake. Going with a Justin 2-leg special. I like it. Phillies team total over 3.5. McCullers 2 walks. Your thoughts on this? I will actually be talking about McCullers here in that game a little bit. Not him as much as the other side. But I'm always fine with McCullers walks. I still just I don't know how long his leash is either, so it kind of scares me a little bit on these types of plays. In my opinion, it's a little tough too because Baltimore is just rolling all these dudes that don't play that much. I saw Basalo is now starting. Abby has his oblique injury. Go down the list. Jordan Westberg is possibly out again today. We could see Tyler O'Neill coming back in for the first time in a long time. It's just I feel like that's kind of a tough one for me, just because I don't know his pitch count. I don't know the entire lineup on the other side, so I can't use all my data that I have. So I definitely like the Phillies team total side. I think that's a great look. I think there's a couple maybe strikeout props I probably would play instead of McCullers, but that's just me. I don't take walk parlay pieces very often, outside of last night when I played Giolito. Which shout out to Giolito for doing that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like the combo. McCullers has, I don't remember what it is. It looked like 29 walks in like 45 innings or something this year. Like it's an insane ratio, So obviously very walk prone. That's always live right there. And yeah, I agree with the Phillies look. I'd almost rather money line, but team total works too. They obviously correlate very heavily. I got to adjust. I was saying before, Washington has no good bullpen guys. Shout out to Jose A. Ferrer. Ever since they made him the closer, dude's been
he's been very good.
Like 2 inning saves, which is kind of telling that they've got nobody to throw it in the 8th. So it's kind of you gotta do it all, But he obviously pitched a ton recently. They just won a series against the Mets. Shout out to the Nationals taking care of business. So yeah, I agree. I think anytime you see a pitcher, twice within a week and a half, you know what I mean? They just saw him. Either last start or the start before. I don't remember which one. So yeah, anytime you kind of can download that data and see a guy again immediately is going to be obviously beneficial to the hitters. So yeah, I like that a lot. I like Cavalli, but I think the Phillies probably do get some runs off today, especially with that Nats bullpen coming in after him as well.
Yeah, that's obviously the perk of playing the full game, 1 team total there. So definitely have no issues with that one. But yeah, I think I'd probably find a strikeout prop I'd probably prefer over a walk one, even though McCullers has been obviously very walk prone. Yeah, hey, shout out to you, Professor T. We always appreciate you jumping in here. If you guys could hit that like button, we appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that retweet if you're over on Twitter. We always appreciate all your guys' support as we continue. Closing in, we got to get back rolling here. We're back up to 13. And we got some plays for you guys. Stu, what game is sticking out? We have every team in action, of course, on this Friday slate. Where are we looking for your favorite game of the day?
Yeah, I believe I saw Shane Bieber's coming back and starting for Toronto today, right?
Yes, he is.
Because that should be fun. I like whenever we get something like that. We're obviously a little bit of a layoff there. They had that trade. And the Blue Jays, I mean, people might have thought they might have done a little bit more, at the deadline. They kind of put their eggs in this basket, and they need him to kind of work out because this is a team that's trying to win it all this year. You know what I mean? So I think Bieber's start kind of stuck out to me as like, yeah, I'm tuning in for that. I want to watch that. Obviously against the Marlins on the other side. I mean, we talked about the Marlins a decent amount on the show. I don't have any strong feelings on that side of the match. I just think it'll be an interesting game, and I think it'll have some implications going forward. So kind of excited to see that one. And then obviously you always got Yankees, Red Sox, two good pitchers on either side. That's going to be a fun one as well.
Yeah, I like that game. I told you before the show, I just don't get the price. I don't understand why the Yankees deserve to be that big of a favorite. Brian Bayo has been nothing short of spectacular over the last month and a half. I have him in fantasy. Unfortunately, I sat him this week. But, yeah, I mean, with the Yankees bullpen the way it is, I know Bednar blew his last save, but, I mean, he's been really good. But you traded all these guys for, washed-up Devin Williams. Emilio Duvall has not looked good in the pinstripes. Bednar's really been the only guy at the back of that bullpen. It's tough because I haven't been a huge Max Fried fan since he's got to the Yankees. I full faded him in every best ball I did this year. I have no shares. It's kind of scared me a little early in the year, but he's falling apart right now too. So I just don't get the line at all. So there's that one. And then I really do like that Orioles-Houston series where I will have my bet today. I think that's an interesting spot, and I'm actually excited to watch that game.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. We kind of talked about Astros been a little hit or miss recently, but I mean, profiles to be a pretty solid game right there. So I'm with it. We got a lot of good options today, honestly. I'll talk about my Nats in a minute, but I like my guy Cavalli as well. Definitely be watching that one.
Yeah, and then you got the Blake Snell, Yu Darvish spot tonight. Another, I don't know. I thought the Dodgers would be a little bit bigger favorite, but yeah, it is what it is. So we will see. And obviously, we don't know if Ohtani's going to play today with the line drive off his leg. So I did see somebody mention something about Ohtani, but I just don't know if he is playing yet because I know he took that liner.
What is a Cowboy Ohtani Day? Is that like a bobblehead or something like that we're thinking? Or
I mean, it's in San Diego, so I hope they don't do a.
Oh, so yeah, I don't know what that means then, honestly. But
yeah, I don't know what Cowboy Ohtani means, but
it just made me think like if they did a Cowboy bobblehead of Ohtani, I'd much rather a casino Ohtani bobblehead where he's like pulling a slot machine. I feel like that's $1 million idea. Let's forward this to someone else, please.
Yeah, no, that'll be. If I was still working in minor league ball, I'd definitely switch that up for sure.
Set that up the food chain a little bit.
Oh yeah, we throw that up. Nolan McLean. That's what they call him. They call him Cowboy Ohtani.
Interesting.
All right, I don't get that one. I mean, I don't think the dude's hitting tanks. So I know he's good as fuck. I know he's a great fucking pitcher. So I'm not.
Oh, Mets. Okay. Yeah. Why does he get to be Ohtani? I don't get this. Does he? Is
that actually his nickname? Are you looking it up?
No, I looked up who it was, but I didn't see.
Oh, he's good. Like I'll give it to him. He's good, but I've never heard that nickname unless our boy Jiggy in there just made that up right now. But I have not heard that nickname. I know McQueen's really good, high level prospect, but yeah, I don't see him hitting 50 nukes in a season, which makes it a little tougher to compare yourself to Ohtani. But it is what it is. Stu, you ready to get rolling here today? We got 91 of you guys in here on this Friday afternoon. Get ready for the weekend. Might as well make a little bit of money. Stu, I'll kick it over to you to start us off today.
Sounds good. Yeah, I mean, we're going with the hit parlay. Two really good batters right here. We got Trey Turner and we got Ketel Marte at -116 over on FanDuel. If you've been watching the show for years, hit parlays are kind of really what got me into betting baseball. I've always watched baseball my whole life, and I remember opening up Bovada and seeing Mike Trout like -180 for hit every day when he was playing and MVP, and I was like, what? What? He gets that every day? You know what I mean? Just being like, what's going on? And obviously the market has evolved since then. Now all these guys are -300 every game. It makes it a lot harder to do this unless you're kind of targeting more up and coming hitters or you take more risks against higher level pitchers. But it comes down to price for me. You know what I mean? And I think this is a reasonable enough price to back two contact-oriented great hitters. I'll start out with Trey Turner right here. I've got Trey Turner hit parlayed with a couple things. It's a little UFC stuff as well. Pavlovich against Waldo. Parlayed that as well at like a minus 225, ended up like minus 110-ish around that same price. I really like Trey Turner to get a hit. Obviously, just saw Cavalli a week ago. Like I said, had 2 hits in that game, an extra base hit and a single. What I like about Trey Turner specifically in this matchup against Washington, he's always crushed Washington since he left. I mean, we haven't been that great, so it kind of makes sense. Hitting over 300 against Washington each of the last 2 seasons right here. But what I like about it, and what you really notice if you actually watch these games, he has an insane amount of infield singles against Washington, because obviously everyone knows Trey Turner is fast as hell. Washington is one of the worst infield defenses in the league. Like, they're starting Josh Bell at first base now, which is hilarious. He's been DHing all year long, but they just cut low. So now it's Josh Bell out there, and now Champaro as well, a minor leaguer who just got called up and played yesterday. So what I kind of like about this is obviously I see extra base hit upside, like even homer, I guess, every once in a while. But I just think he can beat out an infield. Like, worst comes to worst, I've seen it so many times against this team. Like, throw away the minus 300 average, the good pitch blitz, all that, like the good history. Like, his profile, I think just any guy that has infield speed, I think can crush Washington. Like, even if you're making soft contact, because we're just an awful defensive team. And a lot of the times it's not even like error worthy where it just throws way over the head. It's just like sloppy, poor defense, double clutches, bad picks, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know what his single prop is. I kind of want to look at it. I never really bet this kind of stuff that often. Oh, Samir just typed that in the chat right after I said it. But if it's like a solid price, then I'm 100% going to play the single as well. Because I like Cavalli. I've been really impressed with his strike throwing ability as well, not walking guys. That was one of his biggest issues in the minor leagues. But once again, you see a team now twice in the same week, and it is a team that can walk a decent amount as well. Like, I don't think the start is going to go as well for him. Even 7 innings last outing, he still gave up 7 hits in that one, no walks. There was still some contact. Obviously, Trey Turner was 2 of those hits, I believe, at least 1. And yeah, I just think he's going to have another good game right here. He's one of the best contact guys in the league, one of the faster guys out there. I just think it's a great matchup against the guy that he just saw. As for Ketel Marte, I was surprised. His hits, runs, RBIs is minus 140. I think that's a pretty good price for Marte. Obviously, the whole lineup for the Diamondbacks isn't as strong as it was like pre-trade deadline and all that, but you still got Carroll up there. You still got a nice, solid core at the top. But still, I thought his hit price was still good enough where I didn't really want to pay the juice as much on the hits, runs, RBIs. And I like the matchup. I mean, once again, Ketel Marte's maybe been my most like profitable player this year. He's been awesome, but just fantastic. Very consistent when you look at recent form. 315 over the last 15 games, 330 over the last 30. He's coming in, doing the job, getting it done. I really like his pitch splits as well. When you got a guy like Littell, who has really unique pitch mixes, right? Where you're going to be likely seeing the splitter and the slider more than a fastball. Those are his 2 top pitches. Marte has great numbers against that. And that's obviously really key when you look at Marte just in general. 99th percentile expected batting average at 305, 97th percentile expected slugging, 93rd percentile barrel rate. Littell does have some barrel problems. And in general, when you look at Littell's baseball savant, way different story than the ESPN box score. A lot. If you wanted to pick a guy that looks like he's due for a little bit of regression, I mean, Littell is very blue. It is a very blue baseball savant page. I know the 3.5 ERA obviously looks pretty solid, and I don't want to take anything away from him. He is a very solid pitcher. What I love about him, the only thing that's not blue, and why I target him for these hit parlays, is that 99th percentile walk. Because he's not walking guys. He's going out there and he's throwing strikes. And for me, when we always talk about these hit parlays, a walk is as good as an out. You know what I mean? Like, you're not getting anything from a walk right there. So you really want to avoid the like Lance McCullers kind of guys of like, I want to fade him, but I'd much rather fade him with like hits, runs, RBIs, or runs scored, where a walk can still lead to a positive outcome. It's not going to do that in a hit parlay. And we know Marte can take a walk. So I love that it's going to be, you take the chances of a walk way down from just your average starter right here. And yeah, we got the good recent form. We got the great pitch splits against that splitter slider combo. We obviously know he can hit a 4-seamer and a sinker. If you're a 300 hitter, that's awesome. You're going to be able to hit those pitches pretty well at the MLB. But what was huge for me was, good expected numbers against both of those pitches. Same with Corbin Carroll as well. I was going back and forth between Carroll and Marte. The price is better on Marte, so that's where I went. But Corbin Carroll has like a 700 slugging against the splitter. If you hang one of those against him, he might crush it. So honestly, kind of like the D-backs offense, like the top of it. I know Littell's been pretty solid, but I do think he's a guy that's looking at some regression right here. And I think Trey Turner is one of the best pairs you can have for a hit parlay. So minus 116, that was definitely in my playable range right here. Like this combo a lot.
Yeah. Do not mind either one of those guys. Obviously, I'm a big Trey Turner guy. I have a lot of him in year long, and he's been carrying my team this week since I got like 2 or 3 injuries. So he's just doing everything for us right now. So love to see it, and hopefully it continues here. I am actually doing just a straight team total for the first time in a while. I usually have some combos that I like with 2 of my favorite players usually, but today I'm just going to go straight. I'm just going to play Astros. Astros team total over 4.5 at minus 115. Very sketchy when I first initially looked, just because obviously the Astros have been one of the worst teams in baseball over the last month. They cannot hit to save their life. And I was kind of, I was back and forth where it was like, how do I play this? Do I play the full game? Do I do this? How do I do it? And then I realized all I needed was that one game last night, right? I needed to see the Astros wake up, and they did, right? They ended up winning 7-2. Christian Walker woke up, right, which is huge, obviously, as a guy who destroys left-handed pitching throughout his entire career. I think that's obviously huge. Also, even though he didn't do anything last night, Jeremy Pena being in this lineup is massive. Like, him being in the leadoff spot is huge. Allows you to have Correa at the 2, Altuve 3, then Walker, and then you can throw a guy like I don't know if they'll play Sanchez today, but obviously he came off of a 5-hit game last night. And then obviously Yandy Diaz, he's got, Caratini, all these other right-handed bats in here. My issue with Cade Povich is, like, this dude is a fly ball guy, right? He's a fly ball pitcher, and I get it. It is at home, so I would be surprised. I would have been surprised if the Astros would have been a 5.5 in Houston tonight, just because obviously you got the short porch out in the left. But the Astros still continue to be a top 5 team against left-handed pitching on the year. 111 WRC plus ranks them only behind Dodgers, Yankees, Toronto, Detroit, right? And then them, right? They're right up there. Significantly better against left-handed pitching than right-handed pitching. You have a guy in Povich who, like I said, is a fly ball pitcher and gives up a lot of barrels, a lot of hard contact, and is due for some regression, right? So when I look at these guys, he has a 4.98 ERA, expected 4.6, 49% hard hit rate, 521 expected slug, right? And then you go down the list, and it's like, what's happening here? And it's the slugging against his fastball is a 407. Expected slug is 630, right? Like, this dude is due to give up some tanks, and I think it's going to be tonight. They just saw him in his last start. He went out and K'd him 10 times in Houston, gave up 3 runs. But that's what I'm saying. When we get here, right, when you get a team like the Astros are coming off of, one of probably the worst 2-week stretches that they've had, and now you kind of get them, you wake up a little bit. You just saw this guy, right? You have a Baltimore bullpen that is nothing to write home about. They used to be one of the best. Now they're bottom 10 in pretty much every statistical category. I don't see Povich getting deep in this game. He's a high strikeout guy. I think he's like an 8% walk rate, 25% K rate. Just doesn't induce a ton of chase. And when he does give up contact, it is hard. So I think this is a spot where I'm going with the Astros. Not only the bullpen stuff, but just seeing him last week, 10 strikeouts, his best performance of the year. Now I think this Astros team woke up a little bit last night, put up a 7-piece, got that off the back, right? They were horrible. Now you see a couple. Walker, obviously Sanchez, and obviously getting Altuve in the 3-hole is pretty big too, to kind of stretch that lineup with Correa at the 2, who obviously hits lefties well too. So sign me up, man. I really like this Astros team tonight. I think this is a spot I want to go, especially with them being the road team as well. Get the guaranteed 9th inning at bats does not hurt either. So sign me up, Astros team total.
Yeah, I like the spot right here. Obviously, Pena, you kind of said it, but Pena being at the top of that order is so key. Like if he's not in or whatever, like that's just a totally different team. Now you add Correa post deadline, who's been hitting well. You got a solid little chunk, especially like I said, if Christian Walker can actually hit the ball, because that guy is so hot and cold. He's got little stretches where he's on fire, then kind of disappears. I wonder what his home run line is tonight, because obviously you did mention Povich being a bit of a fly ball guy that could line up pretty well, especially with him hitting the bomb yesterday, seeing the ball pretty well. Could be a solid little sprinkle if it's a good price. I can check right now.
Yeah, and just to put that in perspective, almost a 13% barrel rate too, which is astronomical. You're giving up a barrel here against these guys, and you still have a 19% pull side in the air too, which is what you do not want. You do not want that at all. You want to be keeping that ball middle opposite field. You have less guys that have the ability to hit you out there. So, I don't mind Altuve either. I see NY Jiggy right there saying about his hits, runs, RBIs. I'm perfectly content there. It's just with this Astros team, you really don't know who's going to be, right? They have a lot of those, like, Correa later in his career, Pena, you don't know what. I just can't bet specific, so I'm going to go right here because I like a couple of them. So I'd rather just put a decent amount on the Astros team total and like not have to worry about specifics, because I've been kind of cutting back on DFS these last couple of weeks, getting obviously ready for NFL season, because I've been hitting bets and I just can't. I'm not winning in DFS because like we'll have 3 home runs and all of them are not in my lineup, but they all count on my team total. And it's just like I was like, I need to pull back for a little while. Just not. I'm like, this is starting to piss me off, where you say, okay, yeah, you take the Phillies and you take your 5-man Philly stack and the 2 guys that you don't have fucking hit tanks. And it's just, oh man, it's so
yeah. You honestly should get a medal for still playing MLB DFS like that. I don't like. Unfortunately, with legalized sports betting, the DFS industry is just kind of like, I saw a company release like that they're signing a DFS expert or a couple of those recently, and I'm just like, who's paying for that at this? Because there's obviously a couple big ones. You can get the optimizer. You can load up your 150 or whatever if that's your style. But that's not the average person. The average person wants to put 1 or 2 in the milli maker and see what happens, So obviously and even NFL. This is just baseball. The prize pools are smaller. It's a grind. Like, I respect it. You're obviously a good DFS player, but the commitment for that is brutal.
Yeah. This month of August, we're like, I got to pull back. I got to, get my best balls in, still get my stuff in there. But, we'll be ready for the best ball. And I'm excited to obviously do that show with you. I would assume probably early September. I know our boy Thomas in here win his NFL show. I know we will do, I'm not sure, maybe we just do a full week of just doing shows all week. And one of them is, the Tuesday show is maybe our futures, and Thursday is more of like best ball, fantasy stuff. I don't know. We haven't really got into the weeds yet there. Obviously, still grinding MLB. But it's 3rd week of preseason. So, that's like the big time. You start to see everything start winding down a little bit. And, we'll at some point give you guys the exact date on which one we're going to do at what date. Usually in August, it starts winding down and we get ready to go. And it's once it flips, it's NFL time.
Yeah, no, I'm with it. I agree. I think a nice little, like, maybe week-long lead up or something. We do a best ball, little futures, maybe even a player futures or something like that. But yeah, I'm in. I mean, I'm excited. I like your Niners look at 20-1. I don't think that's bad. It's a hard division, obviously, but they have the easiest schedule in the league by most, experts that rank that kind of stuff. So that could help. And hey, they just added, Brian Robinson's. Maybe that does something. But yeah, if they can stay healthy, Ayuk needs to come back and hit the ground running, because right now they got Ricky Pearsall, and then they got Juwan Jennings, who hasn't practiced, hasn't done anything. We don't even know if he's going to suit up for week 1. Not only is he injured, he's also wants a new contract, which is not going to happen, by the way. But if the injury stuff prevents it, like, who's even that's a rough wide receiver room right now. They're going to really need CMC to catch like 6 passes a week. And George Kittle, obviously, to keep crushing. George Kittle kind of gets forgotten about a little bit, but he keeps on doing his thing. So don't hate that at all. It's kind of buy and low. It's why I bet the Eagles to win the Super Bowl last year. They were 16-1 coming off a year where it wasn't, their strongest strong, but you're like, it's still a good team. It's great. Like, yeah, they have a great core. So, I mean, at 20-1, you could do a lot worse than that. I'm curious what the Bengals are as well. That could be an interesting one. But yeah, we'll obviously do a whole show about it. We'll get into it and talk a little bit more about futures soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Stu, we got a quick recap coming here, and then let's talk some long shots. I see NYJ just brought that up as well.
Sounds good. We got Trey Turner and Ketel Marte minus 116 hit parlay. That's over on FanDuel Sportsbook.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm rolling with the Astros team total at 4.5 minus 115. Yeah, and I'll give my boy Isaac Collins a quick shout. He's now minus 170. You know, we talked about him at plus 700 here on the show. Okay. Minus 170.
Okay.
On that one. And big shout to my boy Christopher Sanchez as well. I know even if he doesn't win, I got him at 20-1 a few weeks ago. He's plus 260 now because obviously the Wheeler stuff happened.
Yeah, true.
So those are the things too. Is like obviously we have future shows, but like you can get some good value throughout the year, dude. Like there's some like obviously I didn't even think Collins would be up at this point, but obviously injuries and he takes the reins over because you could have hammered the top of the board. Collins wasn't even in the conversation.
Yeah. No, I never bet those preseason rookie of the years. There's so many, or I mean in baseball, to be clear, not other sports, but it's such a long season, so many unexpected turns. I'm regretting not tailing you because you're saying this and I'm going, nobody knows who the fuck this guy is. You know what I mean? It's just like, because in awards, normally, like, I feel like media matters so much, but at the end of the day, if you're just doing better than everyone else, probably going to win the award. So shout out to him. If he keeps on cooking, like you said, minus 170, you're in the driver's seat now. So good call. I have some FOMO. Obviously, I was right here across from you. I was listening to the whole thing, and I did not click the button, so that's on me. But yeah, good stuff right there. I'm excited. I'm rooting for you because I don't have anything bet in that market.
Yeah, well, he's a Brewer, so you kind of I had to put my money on him, right? You have to. Right? So yeah, and still surprising. Judges plus or minus 250. Like it's very surprising. I mean, I feel like at this point I have to bet Cal Raleigh at plus 190. I feel like that's kind of crazy. And before we get into long shots, Jose Ramirez being that fucking far out, he's third place, but he's plus 10,000. That dude deserves so much more love than what he gets. That dude is so fucking good at baseball. Guy's amazing. I fucking love Jose Ramirez. So I don't think I know anybody who doesn't like Jose Ramirez. I don't know how you could not like him.
Agreed. Yeah, we talk about him all the time. Another one of my most profitable players as well in the league. Like, just gets it done every single time, does his job. Easy guy to root for, like you said. And humble as well. Took the little pay downgrade. He could have went to the Yankees, made, more money. And, yeah, but now he's kind of a local legend instead, which definitely matters a lot.
For sure. Leo says he likes Bobby Witt fantasy score. I mean, Bobby Witt's a fucking monster. Hey, I will give my quick boy shout out quick last one before we get into these. So my boy actually started the game on Thursday or Wednesday. DeGrom, I think, had his shoulder thing and they were like fatigued, so they pulled him and threw a bullpen guy. So the guy Caleb Bosley, I told you that's my guy. That's my dude I went to college with. I played with. He got to start, and I was like, I sent him a text, whatever. The day, like right before the game, shoot him a text. I'm like, hey, congrats, whatever, because he's thrown for the last 2 years for the Rangers. He played for the Brewers, but this was his first career start. Single, nuke. First 3 dudes. Pasquantino took him yard, and then he just completely shut him down for the next 2 innings. But I'm like, can you imagine, dude? Like a guy I'm playing catch with. I play with he was my catch partner. The boy had to face fucking Bobby Witt, dude. Like, that's so crazy. He's facing probably one of the top 5 players in baseball. It's like, fuck, dude. He's probably going down as one of the better players to play if he continues the trajectory he's on. But I thought that was kind of cool. I'm like, God damn, dude. I'm talking, doing this, working, obviously doing stuff in baseball, but this dude's pitching in the bigs, throwing against fucking Bobby Witt. So that reminded me of that. Obviously, I love Bobby Witt. I imagine he'll probably do his thing here. I don't really bet fantasy score much. Yeah,
well, it's because that's like one of those like prize picks kind of things. I don't know what actual books post that. Maybe Draft? No, I don't even think DraftKings does. Maybe like not Hard Rock, Bet365. I don't know. I think it's more of a people that aren't in like legal gambling states,
Okay.
kind of thing, you know. But fantasy score is great because it compiles everything, you know what I mean? And steals are obviously so huge, and he can just do everything, like you said. So yeah, shout out to your boy as well. No matter what the outcome was, in a generation or two, he can tell his kids, his family, like, yeah, I was up there facing Bobby Witt, and people remember who Bobby Witt is at that point.
Yeah.
You know? So it's very dope.
Let's you got a long shot here, Sue? You got a long shot here, so you got to make sure. Oh, use a sleeper. Okay, yeah. I would assume he gives you the DraftKings scoring and sleeper, which I assume would be 5 points. So yeah, definitely don't mind that. Do you have any spots you're looking? Actually, dude, they did some weird stuff here for long shots today on these.
I mean, I haven't bet anything yet. You kind of piqued my interest with Christian Walker there. I checked 425 isn't too bad. I was kind of hoping for a better Corbin Carroll price. Like I said, insane slugging and expected slugging, 700 expected slugging against the split finger, but it's only like 340 for a home run. You know, I mean, that's not a terrible price, but I kind of would want to be more in the 400 range there. But if I had to bet a homer, it's today's a Friday, let a couple long shots go. Those are two guys that definitely stick out. Maybe if I can find one more, do a little round robin, maybe Kyle Schwarber if the price isn't like plus 100. Maybe Bryce Harper. He obviously hits a home run once every couple days against the Nationals as well. Like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't bet anything yet, but those would be the guys that would stick out to me.
Oh, Stu, I think I got a fun one today. I mean, we have a lot of guys in here. We have 140 of you guys in here right now. I'm fucking around with some long shots today, and I'm gonna do very, very small ones. I'm playing 25-1 props today on the market. So big numbers for me. I'm not usually a guy who goes this crazy, but DraftKings didn't allow you to do top game score. So they allow you to have the top home run teams. I'm going with Red Sox and Astros, bro. The Astros are so far down this list that it's criminal. That's absolutely criminal. I get it. They've sucked lately. But Kate Povich being a fly ball guy in Baltimore with that shit bullpen and a dude who's giving up a 12% barrel rate, I can't get away from that. Like, they're below the fucking Giants. Quintana hasn't given up any power, right? You go down the list, Baltimore's higher than them. The White Sox are 22-1. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm looking down, and then it's like, okay, the Mariners are the top team. It's Mariners, Phillies are top two. Mariners are also hitting at home here, guys. The hardest place to hit bombs, and that's going to be your top team. If it was in Oakland, sure, whatever. But there's that. I still think Cavalli's got good enough stuff to keep the ball in the yard. He's got obviously swing and miss stuff. They're the number 2 team, but like this is like the 17th and 18th ranked team for home runs today. I think that's criminal. Max Fried has given up bombs over his last couple games. Gave up 2 against the fucking Cardinals. Really? He gave up 7 runs against the damn Cardinals. We've seen how bad this bullpen or the Yankees can be if they're losing. If the Yankees are losing and they throw that shit middle of the bullpen guys, like even their high-end dudes have been struggling. Now you throw your shit ones in Yankee Stadium. You just saw Roman Anthony hit a huge monster bomb yesterday, dude. I'm betting on the talent, dude. I don't care that I'm not looking as much at the matchup outside of obviously the Astros here, but man, give me that, dude. You're pitching in Yankee Stadium. You're getting a warm day out in Baltimore too. I just think I could do a lot worse than paying half this price on Brian Bayo to give up that much power. The Yankees are 12-1. Brian Bayo is throwing sinker after sinker into the ground, dude, and you're just hitting ground balls. And now we're gonna just think that they're just gonna hit a bunch of tanks off of them. Like, I don't know, man. I'm very adamant here about going to these spots. Even the Brewers at 28-1. That's the fourth lowest. Right? They're the lowest, dude. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, to see that the Rockies, Marlins, and Reds are the only 3 teams lower than the Brewers. Really? I don't know, man. Like, this market's interesting because obviously the Brewers don't hit a ton of bombs, but the Red Sox and Astros do. They got power in there. That's crazy to me that they're like 20th in this. So I'm going to roll with them, 0.2 on each. If we get them, that's 12, bro. I'm hopping up. That's a big jump for me to grab this number here. So I'm going to put 0.2 on each. And if I lose, it's 0.4 units. I'm good with losing $40.
I like it. I mean, obviously, I don't think I've ever bet top home run team before. I don't think I've ever made it there, but you've
I
had a
haven't
lot
either. So first time for everything.
in the top run scorer market, obviously, which has been fun this year to tail you on. So yeah, it's 25-1. It's a long shot for a reason. It's probably not going to hit, but obviously, I think you presented some pretty good arguments right there. I think it's worth a couple bucks. So I'm going to be joining you. Only bummer for me looking at it, Noah Abreu for the Red Sox. That takes 23 bombs out of their lineup. Is kind of annoying. Roman Anthony, I wonder his prices. I know it's lefty on lefty there, but man, he's his exit velos from this last week are crazy. He's been even before that bomb, he's been crushing the ball recently. So that could be fun.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you pulling the lefties out. Brady wasn't going to play anyway. He doesn't play against lefties.
That's true.
But
Good point.
now I get big bad Rob Ref Snyder, bro. That boy is hitting a tank today. Him, Romy Gonzalez, like, that's all he's in there to do is rake lefties. Right? You got Bregman, who's been a lifelong lefty smoker right here, bro. So it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, the Nationals are 22-1. If that's what
Let's go.
I get it. That's probably the easiest matchup of anybody on the board with Taijuan Walker, but
yeah,
like that's telling you what it is. And like the Giants are the same price. I haven't seen Quintana give up more than 2 bombs in a game this whole year. He's been phenomenal. And they're the same price as these guys. Crazy.
That's the Nationals is crazy. I get the matchup. This is like they don't hit bombs. Their whole coaching staff is like, we need more ground balls. That's like their whole philosophy. Fucking Alex Call got traded to the Dodgers and hit a 453-foot homer, the longest of the season for the Dodgers. They have fucking Ohtani and Freddie Freeman, and fucking Alex Call leaves for a week and a half and suddenly learns how to hit for some power. Like, the team just doesn't hit bombs. Yeah, so I would never bet I get James Wood can in opposite field any day. You know, he can get you 1, maybe CJ, but yeah, I would never bet the Nats. The fact that the Nats are a better price than these guys both is crazy. Like, no way I'd be taking that. But yeah, I'm excited. It's a fun sweat. It adds a little bit more drama to the slate,
Yeah, and obviously when you're betting these too, it's like very easily could be a split, right, at like 3 or 4. Now I'm getting a split at a 12.5. Yep. I'm splitting with the fucking Mariners. I'm getting 5-1, and I have to beat every team. Fuck that.
100%. Yeah, it's like what golf first round leader. You don't want to be on like the Scotty Scheffler split. You're just gonna pay like -150 based on what his regular price is.
Not bad, my boy Big Russ. Big Russ getting that first round leader yesterday. Shout out Big Russ, hitting it as far as me, and he fucking finds a way to get. His iron game is fucking crazy, dude. Crazy. Yeah. Like his freaking ball speed is so low, and the dude just still finds a way to just fucking pit and pat right there. Obviously, good putter, but yeah, I think we're good, Stu. You got anything else for him? We got 145 of you guys still in here with us. We appreciate you joining us on this Friday afternoon.
Yeah, not really. I mean, like I said, I'll be betting a little UFC, a little D-Gen action there. I have a lot of Aljo at -250. He's now -475
because fucking what's his face looked like he died, bro. He looked like that was the worst I've ever seen anyone look on the scale.
Me too. It was brutal. And apparently he fainted and went to the hospital before. I don't know what's going on. The one thing I will say though, like I said, I do have a lot. I bet literally straight at -250. I parlayed it with both Zhang, and then I did with Sergey as well. I like Aljo a lot. I think he's going to win this fight. Now that this price is double as bad as what it was before, I'm not going to lie, I will be playing some Brian Ortega sub. Because even though he looked like a zombie, the dude went out against Yair, fucking injured his ankle and subbed him. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it is what it is. But at this point, a little hedge, a little sub action. Ortega can still sub anyone if it gets to the ground. We know Aljo wants to take it to the ground anyway. Although I think he can beat him in a kickboxing fight. And this is a 5-rounder, by the way. Could Aljo get a late finish in this one? Could we Aljo 4-5? I don't know. Like, via strikes, ground and pound. It's possible. Ortega's tough as hell. I know Lopez didn't even put him out, but once again, he looked like a zombie, a literal zombie. It looked like whatever the worst disease you can think of, he just beat it like an hour ago.
I cannot take Brian Ortega to get finished in this fight for the sheer fact that he literally got knocked out standing, took another punch in the chin and woke up. Yeah. That was the most savage thing I've ever watched. Dude took a 1-2 from Lopez, was knocked out. Second one, woke him back up. That motherfucker finished the fight. That was the most epic thing I've ever watched. He didn't even get finished. I don't think Aljo's subbing him, dude. Obviously, are you gonna sub probably the best jiu-jitsu guy like in this
It's
division?
5 rounds though, man. If he's
I
dead,
know, but
if
I
he's
don't know,
dead,
man.
like it's like not a quitting. You know what? I don't want to call him that because he's never done
I think
that.
they do the 5 decision in these round fights, so you wouldn't get 4 or 5. Like I wouldn't do 4 or 5. I'd do like 5 decision is probably, pretty juice, but or like minor.
Yeah.
But to get it as a minus 400 guy, so.
And then another favorite, but I think Sergey's gonna beat Waldo as well. I fucking hate that guy. He barely beat Spivak. I know that's a solid win, but like the dude has a jab. That's all he has. People think Sergey. I don't know. I saw someone saying Sergey's gonna get knocked out. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I think he has so many different ways to win this fight. Like I know it's heavyweight, but I don't think Sergey's getting knocked out. So I'd have it at like minus 400, not minus 250 or whatever it is right now. So final thoughts. I normally like the dogs. I come here to talk some dogs, but I think the top of the card, I think favorites are going to win. Obviously, the UFC is trying to set up this Chinese guy to kill Johnny Walker. Although I made this joke earlier in Discord, I need to find Johnny Walker heel hook. We've seen his brother, who he's training with more now, hit 3 heel hooks in a row. Walker is a BJJ black belt. I don't know who gave it to him. He's never showed it before, but he is one, technically. His brother is training with him more now, hit 3 in a row. And this Zhang guy, we don't know shit about his grappling. Like, he's never had to show it at all. He just goes and starches dude, which obviously that's what the UFC wants. They want him to go kill Johnny Walker. And it will be funny when he does, most likely, as well, because shout out Johnny Walker, just living cartoon character. But a heel hook win, that's got to be like 50-1. Like I'm putting $5 on it, 100%.
Yeah, what book is offering that one? What is that? Bet365 maybe or what?
MGM does those, and offshores do it. Like my like bookie will post them as well.
Interesting. Yeah, just take my bookie for that money and then leave, bro. Let's get out of there.
Yeah, although if you go, some of those will. If you hit one of those, they'll go, yeah, you can't have your money. But we'll see.
Yeah, you're limited. You're limited immediately. So, yeah. But yeah, it should be fun. I'm sure I'll text you later tonight, and we'll get talking UFC. I'm sure again. Got 2 softball games tonight. We're in the city tournament, so we got to play that. So we'll see how it goes. I will. I'm sure we'll be texting about the fights here and hopefully make some money here. But yeah, should be fun. Appreciate all you guys for popping in. We appreciate 148 of you still here, 47 minutes in. We'll be back on Monday ready to go. If you could hit that like button on the way out, we appreciate it. And we'll catch you on Monday, hopefully coming back talking about a sweep. So have a good one, guys, and best of luck this weekend.